Hello guys, how are you all today? It's Chlo here from Chlo's Craft Closet. I've come to create another card for the Cuppa and Cards online class today. This is number 4, boys and girls. Can you believe it? 4 of 5. We've only got one more to go after this, which is a bit sad. But the exciting news means that my new July online class will be open. Well, it's open now. So if you have enjoyed this series and would like to take part in next month, then please head on over to my blog, which is at Chlo's Craft Closet, and check it out. And you guys could be joining me next month for some more Cuppa and Cards. Now, the idea of the Cuppa and Cards classes are that they are literally a card that you can create while having a cuppa. So they're super simple, super quick, but they're still pretty and give you such a wow impact, and they're great to be able to send out to friends. So I'm actually going to show you a different technique today using the Under My Umbrella stamp set. And of course our coordinating punch. And today I'm going to show you how to do a negative mask. So usually when we mask something, that means we stamp an image, we cut it out, and then the piece we've cut out, we put over the top and then do our multiple stamping around it, peel off our mask, and that leaves us a nice clear image of the original. But today, as you can see on this umbrella, I'm actually going to do a negative mask. So we're going to use the negative, the leftover piece, for our masking today. So see how our umbrella has this nice white outline? That's because we used a negative mask, and so that's the technique I'm going to share with you today. So go ahead and grab your kits. It's mostly white cardstock in your kits today, even though this card is so colourful. It's mostly white cardstock that you're going to be using. Now, you do not have a card base. I decided not to put one in so that you could use any colour you want. I've used mostly Rococo Rose for my Wellington boots, my gum boots, and for my umbrella, so that's what my cardstock is. So I'm going to grab a piece of that very quickly because I haven't got a piece cut, and then I will give you the measurements for it. Let me have a look. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, maybe I don't have any more left of that colour. That's a bit sad. All right, let's change it up and we will do petal pink instead. If in doubt, plan for something else. So I'm going to get a piece of petal pink. Here we go. And so I'm going to use this as my card base. Now, the reason why I'm going to go with petal pink, because I have also used petal pink in the flowers here. So I think that should be absolutely fine to put the two together. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Up trimmer. And we are going to cut our card base down. Now, I know lots of you will cut... Oh, it's upside down. You can, by all means, just cut it straight in half. But the white pieces that I've already got pre-cut for you won't quite be equal. So you might need to trim them down. Or you can just trim your card base to the measurements that I do, which is 11.5 on the long side. And then I score that at 4 inches. So line that up to 4. Oh, sorry, not 4. I thought that looked a bit strange. 5 3/4, girls. So 11.5, and then score at 5 3/4. And then we're going to turn it around and we're going to cut at 4 inches. Okay. And so that is going to give us our base. So that's the base for our card today. So I'll pop him to one side. So we're going to need a card base. And also in your kit, you will have 2 sizes of Whisper White. One is slightly smaller than the other, and it's the smaller one that we want. So I would advise you put the big one back in there so you don't accidentally stamp on it. You should also have your sequins. You should have a piece of printer paper and then 2 smaller pieces of Whisper White. One's for your umbrella and one's for your handle. Okay, so I might put my card base in here as well so he stays nice and clean. And what I will do is I will pop the card up into the top corner here so that you guys can see it as we're creating. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is create our mask. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper here because we're going to do some colouring as well. And when we're using the blends, we need something porous underneath to soak up some of that ink. Otherwise, it will come back through and puddle. And we are going to be using the bigger part of the umbrella, the open umbrella top today. So I'm going to get him out. And we also need some flowers. So I'm going to get, I don't know, maybe these. Oh, actually, let's do the big ones, I think. So we might get these 2 big flowers out today. And I think we'll have a sentiment. And on the card, I've got showered with love. So I think we'll have that one as well, because that's a nice one. Where is it? Sunshine. Showered with love. There he is, right in the middle. And we're also going to want our handle. So let's get that out first. So, oh, and we're going to need the Wellingtons, the gum boots. You can tell I'm a pom by calling them Wellington boots. Gum boots here in Australia. Alrighty, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to put our umbrella top on our block and we're going to stamp him on our printer paper. So we're going to be using Memento Tuxedo Black today because we're using blends, our alcohol blends. We need a water-based black. So I'm just going to quickly stamp him up and put him on there like so. And while we've got this out, we're going to get the larger of the 2 small rectangles and we're going to stamp our umbrella on there. Now before I do that, I'm going to bring the punch in and have a look where my umbrella is and what way round he is. So that's the top one that we're using today. So I am good to be able to stamp him there, that way round, and that will make it easier to punch out later. Okay, so I'll put the lid back on our black so we don't accidentally put our finger in it and get it all over our cardstock. So we don't need this piece right at the moment, so I'm going to put him, actually I'll put him back over to the side. And so we want this piece here. Now, what we want to do, usually when you do a mask, you cut on that black line, and that middle piece is the piece we use. But because we are doing a negative mask, we actually want this bit that will have the umbrella hole. So we're actually going to start with putting a hole in the middle because we don't want to have a cut line anywhere else. And we are just going to run along that black line and cut out that umbrella. So take your time. There's no rush. And we're just going to cut him out on the black line like so. Now when it comes to fussy cutting anything, it's always easier to move your paper and not your scissors. You tend to find you'll get a sharper line that way as well. So all the way around, this is the tricky part, getting these tips in, and then we will make our way up here and hopefully meet back to where we started. Like that. So like I said, usually with a mask, this is the piece you want, but not today because we want the negative, which is this leftover piece. So now this is where the magic happens. We're going to bring back in our stamped umbrella that we're actually going to be using, and we're going to lay our negative over the top of that umbrella. So we're just going to lay them over the top. Now, if you wanted to, if you're a bit worried, you can always get a piece of sticky tape or post-it note or a piece of washi tape and hold them together, stick them like that so it puts them in place. Or you can just hold it. I've given you a nice long piece, so you should be able to just hold it as well. That should be easy. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stamp our flowers that we got off. So there's one on there. And I might get another little rummage around in my tin. A little block, and we're going to stamp our flowers all over that umbrella. And what should happen is when we take our umbrella away, none of them would have gone over the black line. That's the plan anyway. Let's hope that works. So we're going to stamp them up, and we're just going to hold that paper down, and we're just going to stamp over the top like that. So I might change them up, swap them out. One over there. I might do this one again. Might put him there, and then we've got a little bit of a gap, so we might stick one more up there as well, like so. Oh, actually, let's move him over a bit. There we go, like that. So we've stamped our flowers all over our umbrella, and what we're hopefully going to see is when I remove this stencil, the flowers have all stayed within the umbrella. Isn't that clever? Look at that. So when we come to punch out our umbrella, we will still get that nice crisp line around the outside, which looks like we've got a pattern on our umbrella. So time for a bit of colouring. So what I might do is I might stamp the flowers as well on our piece of scrap up here. And then we can, actually, let me have a look. Yeah, we'll colour, I might use the other piece of scrap. We'll see. Actually, let's do the umbrella first. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so we're going to use, like I said, you can use any colours you want, but I've got Petal Pink, light and dark, Pool Party, light and dark, Rococo Rose, light and dark, and Old Olive, light and dark. And that is what I'm going to use to colour in this umbrella. So I've got my porous paper underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some of these flowers, and because I've got the Petal Pink cardstock this time, I'm going to make the bigger flowers the ones that are Petal Pink, because I want to keep that consistency through the card, keep that as my main colour. And I'm just going to add a little highlight to the middle, and then just around the outside I'm just going to use the dark to go over it a little bit, just to give it a little bit of definition. Another one there, like so, like that. And then we'll go in with some Rococo Rose. And I think we'll do this one in Rococo. And we'll do this one in Rococo. And let's do this one. And we'll do this one down here as well. And I'll just go back over that with the dark Rococo Rose. This is one of my favourite colours. Hence why I've run out of the the cardstock. I have got an order coming, so hopefully I've ordered it, and so it will be here soon. And my love for Rococo can continue. Now, remember, your blends do always dry up a slightly different colour. They're never quite as bright. So don't be too worried if you think it's looking a bit fluoro. That's not a problem. All right, now I'm going to go back in with the darker orange here. Sorry, the darker Petal Pink. And do the same there, and do the same on that one there. And then there's that little one right back here. I'm going to go in with the dark Rococo as well for that one, just to break up that colour blocking. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our leaves, and like you've seen me do this before, I just add in my dark green dash first for the vein. And then I just come back in with the lighter green and just colour that out, blend that out. Now these turn out different every time you make them, because it all depends on where you actually stamp your flowers, which one you use and which way round you put them on. So they always come out a little bit different each time. Okay, and so just to make him stand out a little bit more, because we want to really emphasize that white border, I'm now going to colour in the background in Pool Party. So I'm going to start off with a light colour, and I'm just going to colour in the background of my umbrella in the Pool Party. And so that's going to give us our definition and really emphasize that our umbrella isn't white. Like so. And then obviously add even more definition. We're just going to go in and go around the outside with our darker shade. And I'm just going around the outside of those flowers. It does look like I've almost coloured it all in the dark, but not quite. Okay, there you go. Look at that. So that is our beautiful, oh, let me see if I can zoom in for you, our beautiful umbrella. And so when I bring this up now and put it in the punch, because we use that negative masking technique, put put that there. I'm just going to do a little squeezing. Oh, there we go. I think that's about, is that about right? I'm going to punch it out. And when I bring him back up to show you, you can see we've got that beautiful white border. And so this would work with all different types of our stamp set. Clothes, furry bears, all different things like that. Whales, you know, different things that you could add patterns to. It's just a great way of doing it. And so now what we're going to do with these little scraps is we're just going to stamp our little pictures. Our little flowers. So I'm going to grab these again that we've already used for our umbrella, and I'm just going to stamp one either side. And unfortunately, there is a little bit of fussy cutting, girls. You're going to have to fussy cut these out once they're coloured in. Okay, so we'll give them a quick colour. I think we might do, I don't know, let's do this one. Let's do this one petal. Like that. We'll add our definitions in. Make them that little bit more bolder. And then I think this one we might do a mixture of Rococo and the petal pink, the pool party as well, just to bring those other colours from the umbrella in. Like that. Okay, quickly add our outline. Like that. All the way round and the middle. And up there. And then we'll do these other flowers in pool party. Like that. And we'll add our outline in once again. And of course, we can't forget our leaves, our lovely leaves. So it's splash, 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 dash, 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 dark. And then back in again with our green. It'd be so strong getting the lids off these sometimes. Okay. There's a little fly in here. Okay, there we go. And so now all we need to do is just fussy cut those out. So I always like to leave a little bit of a border when I'm cutting. I tend to find that looks nicer that way, leaving a little white edge. And then you don't have to be quite so accurate either, leaving that white edge. And again, you're moving the paper, not so much the scissors. When it comes to fussy cutting. All the way around. I actually like to fussy cut, so this is quite therapeutic. All right, there's one. And I mean, they're so quick. They're so quick and easy, aren't they? All right. And I'll try and zoom in so you can see this one a bit better. And again, this one's an even better shape, easier shape to do. Round we go. Round and around and around and around. The leaves are tricky, aren't they? Because I don't really want them sharp pointy. I want them sort of to be rounded, but without them losing their definition. All right. One more set of leaves and then we are done. All the way back to the beginning. Done. Beautiful. Okay. So we can, we might keep our scrap piece of paper here because we want to do our colouring for our other bits. Alrighty, so we need to stamp a handle. So we'll get a block, we'll stick him on there, bit of ink. And remember, check your punch. So his goes that way. So that's the way I want him to go. Stamp him like that. And so we will punch him out. Pinch him a little bit. Make sure he's straight. Send him on his way. So there's that one. So we've got this, this and this. And so now we just need to, I can't turn him over. We need to stamp our little gum boots and then our sentiment right at the end. So I'm just going to peel those flowers off of there. And our gum boots are going straight onto our piece of paper. So when I do this, usually I work out roughly where I want my umbrella to go. And then I work out where I want my gum boots to go, and then I move my umbrella out of the way and stamp my gum boots like that. And so we'll quickly colour those in. So I think I will colour those in Petal Pink to coordinate with our card base. So I'm going to give them a very quick dusting over of Petal Light. And then I'm going to bring this one back in and put some shadow in, a bit of shading, like so, and then go back over it again with the lighter shade. Like that. And this time I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to do dark first. This bit would all be dark because he's got this other Wellington in the way. And then I'm going to come back in with the light over the top. Like that. And try and blend that line in there. Like so. And I think we might add the tops and the bottom green. I think might be quite nice. Like that. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of darkness there. Okay. And so all we really now want to do is put our little card together. So we're going to foam mount our umbrella top. Foam mount, I put too many there. And we're going to pop him up, and I think we're going to put him about there like that. And I could have stamped this straight on here, but I just thought that was going to be really tricky to line up, so I thought it was easier to stamp and punch him out and then use a glue dot to stick him back on. And then he's perfectly, I've dropped him on the floor. There we go. And then it's perfectly in line with where you want it to go. So we want that to go about there. And then I'm just going to use glue dots to put the flowers on. So glue, did I get it? No, there it is. It's still on there. Oh yeah. So I'm going to put a glue dot under there like so. And then I'm going to put a glue dot on this one. I'm just going to put him like that. Ta-da! And then we just want to stamp our sentiment, which is over here. So let's move that out of the way. And we'll do the same with our grid paper. Line up our grid paper. Line up our words. Ink, ink, ink. Have a little practice. And then we're going to work out where to put it, which I think is about there. Showered with love. Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so we just want to add some sequins now. So I'm going to grab my Tombow, which is over here. And I'll give him a bit of a shake. I'm going to put a sequin there. And I'm going to put a sequin here and here. And I want to put one there and there. Okay. And in your packet, in your kit, you'll find some little sequins. All different colours. Oh. And so we're just going to stick these. Let's have a look, what have I got? I quite like that colour there. Sort of whitey colour. And I like the idea of a pink one. Maybe that little blue one. There. And then we might have a big pink one there. And maybe this little, oh, this little white one there. Like that. Beautiful. Look at that. Okay, I'll move these sequins out the way, put them back in their little bag later on. Put them over there for now. All right, we can get rid of our scrap, and now we can bring back in our card base and our other mount, which I put, here they are, put them back in their bag. Here they are. Okay, so we just want some Tombow on the back of here. And so we're going to glue that to the back of this one. Now it's a very fine line, guys. So it's not much of a border. If I bring it up, you can probably just about see. Oh. Very fine border there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same again. We're going to add some Tombow to that. Check which way our card opens so we don't put it upside down. And then we're going to put this on here like so. And there we go. There we go, boys and girls. All done. Look at that. So that one's the one we've just made in Petal Pink. This is the one I made previously in Rococo Rose. And as you can see, it doesn't matter what colour you use as your base, as long as you remember to put that coordinating colour in with your umbrella in your gumboots, it's going to come up beautifully. So thank you guys for joining me again today. I hope to see you next Thursday for the very last Card and Cuppa class. And I've got a fancy fold for you to finish off. Finish off on a bang. So I hope to see you next Thursday, and take care of yourselves. Have a lovely weekend. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.